So this was the first year that the reformed Maths A-level was examined. And it's an important moment because it's the biggest A-level subject, and the A-level had been reformed by a panel of university academics to make it quite demanding. And because it was quite demanding, the percentage mark required to get each grade had to be reduced because of Ofqual's comparable outcomes approach to grading, which means that they like to give the same proportion of each grade as was given last year when the A-level was unreformed. So this year, if you look at, for example, Edexcel Maths, the pass mark, in other words, the grade, the mark required to get a grade E, was 14% in Maths. And startling, really, to get an A in Maths A-level this year, you had to get 55%. So you could get almost half your questions wrong and still get an A in Maths A-level. The demand for Maths A-level has fallen a bit, and that's rather worrying because the government has been very anxious to increase the numbers doing Maths A-level. They now give state schools a financial incentive to increase the numbers doing Maths, but it hasn't worked. And one can assume that students have been put off doing Maths A-level by the fact that it is difficult. There's no longer the AS level as part of the A-level, and that used to be a helpful stepping stone for people who were a bit unsure about Maths. And indeed, the GCSE has been toughened up, and it may be that quite a lot of students were simply worried about the standard of the GCSE and have steered clear of the A-level. So numbers this year fell. Possibly it's a mistake. A lot of people are thinking that it's all very well setting out to produce, world-class mathematicians at the age of 18, but maths is also an important, what's sometimes called service subject for other subjects like biology, chemistry, physics, psychology, geography. These are all subjects which have quite a lot of maths in them. And there's an argument actually for having a slightly more straightforward A-level maths with a greater emphasis on statistics than the full new Maths A-level. But that's just my idea. So maths went down, English went down. The numbers doing English are falling quite fast. And that's felt to be partly because students don't like the GCSE, the reformed GCSE, but it's also because with the advent of university tuition fees, students feel that they need on the whole to do degrees that are clearly going to lead to a job, and English, like many other subjects, does not automatically lead to a job. It's reading books, it's English literature. Those students are wrong, incidentally. Most jobs don't require a specific subject at degree level or indeed at A level, but this may be part of the reason for the decline in the numbers doing English literature A level. And then the good news from the government's point of view, because they've been pressing for this, is that the numbers doing biology, chemistry and physics have gone up, continue to go up, and the number of girls doing science has in particular gone up, and so that's exactly what many people have been hoping for in recent years. And then finally, I would say that this exam season, with the notable exception of the leak for the third year running of the Edexcel Maths A-level paper, was a great success. It all went smoothly, and that's a very important part of the system.